did the... Hello. It's not ideal. Come back here, you. Oh, please don't break. Hello, Ian. This is so impromptu. I've just like decided, oh, I wonder if this will work. And yeah, I just did it. So it's going to be very rough and ready. But it's going to be what it is. Let me just get the name right. 1DB contacted me on Discord, and he's sending me some stuff, which actually it slips my mind what it is. Oh, some Go Tech. And yeah, a Go Tech and an Amiga book. And we got to chatting, and he's after he's talking about building a new Spectrum. And it ended up with me saying, "Oh, I'll send you one." And he's put 50 quid in the charity. So and he only needs a motherboard. So I've picked out this issue 4S here. Let's go down a bit more, actually, and nothing is set up for this. I've picked out this 4S here, and I can show you it working. Capture. Let's turn it on. And it all tests fine and everything. There's a little bit of interference on that. Partly that's going to be down to the capture device, and some of it could be down to the capacitors. So I'm going to recap this now. Let's warm up some hot metal and give this a recap. So I've got until 9 o'clock. So this will be just a short stream. Let me keep an eye out. I've got no chat open or anything. Hello, Taz. How are you? I'm glad you got back safe. Hello, Gat. Another one in Scotland. Yes. Taking your mind off of things is great. And hello, Henry. 2 out of 3 of you I got to meet on Sunday. That's really nice to see you here. Right, so what have we got? Got some caps, and I've got a Spectrum, and I'm just going to go basically from that side to that side, because this side is where the interesting ones are. And I want to see how my Hacko copes with. I've not recapped a Spectrum with this desoldering gun before, so that was a bit high. Just let that cool down a sec. Soldering iron set to 350. This is set to 350 as well on the crazy little wheel. The light's gone out, so it should be good to go. But normally, the way I would do this is to cut one leg close up here and then bend the cap up so that it's standing straight up. Then I get a pair of tweezers on this leg and put a soldering iron on this side and lift that leg out, and the same on this side and lift that leg out. But I'm going to try to see what the Hakko does with these caps. Come on, melt. That felt pretty good. Although I'm just going to snip off the end of this leg because I don't want to scratch the solder mask by bending it over. No, I scratched it anyway. Oh, it's only a tiny little bit. You wouldn't even notice it under the cap. Oh, this is interesting. That's just comes straight out. That's really nice. Right, 22. We're off. 22, and I'm holding it the right way around, so I'm going to just put them back in the way they came. Oh, my favourite thing to do is use my flat tweezers, these ones, and to bend these over with the markings so that you can see the values on top, roughly in the right place, like this and this, and then drop them in. It's the right way around. You might not have seen me turn it, but it is the right way around. Okay. I'm just going to do them one at a time like that. Solder. The Hakko is a dream on Spectrums. Yeah, it never had it this good. Does make me worry that you know, the reason it's going to be so good on a Spectrum is it's got so much more power and thermal capacity to actually put that heat into the board. And is the board, am I going to come a cropper at some point with actually heating it a bit too much? Don't know. Right. Oh, this is a shame. All of these legs are all folded over. That is going to slow me down. Let's give them a little refloat. Stand them up. So things have been happening over the last few days. I've got the workshop is actually in much better condition now than it was after I came back from the cave. Things were a bit grim in here. I was struggling. I had no space at all, so I had to have a bit of a reorganise over the last 2 days. I've been working it. Oh, that cap is just falling out. Well, that's so good. So I'll measure these caps, and I might put them back in another board if some of them are really good. You know, in a board that I won't pass on to anyone else, of course. If I'm running out of capacitors at any point. Although they're bound to just sit in a box somewhere and me never use them. Which is what I've been clearing out of here for most of the day. So is that? Oh no. But yeah, things have been happening. I've hit the target to raise the money for the Amiga 1200. I've set it quite low actually. An Amiga 1200 for 250 pounds was a little bit ambitious, but we easily hit that 250 pounds, so I'm not worried about that. Oh, there's a capacitor. Oh no, it's not. and then a nice man called Andrew contacted me. I just splattered solder across the board there. Pick that up. Contacted me and said, oh, I've got an Amiga 1200 you can have. So, oh, I did it again. And he's actually going to drive, get the train over and bring it to me. I'm really looking forward to putting the Amiga 1200 in that checkmate case. That is going to be, that's going to be fantastic, and I'm going to hate having to get to move it on. Right, positives on the right on that one, and that is a 1 microfarad, which is going to be one of the small ones. That one. So you had a dodgy journey home, Taz. What was that cheeky beggar on about you not being able to solder? Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. And Mega Drive as well, Movie Guns in general, yeah. No, it's not been recapped, Ian. But that's good. I want to do it myself. I know how it's been done then, and I can actually make a bit of content so that people know what they're getting if I can make a video about something. I'm just gonna check something. Oh, I thought I'd lost the pad, but I hadn't. Thought I was the first Hacko victim. Yeah, I was a bit worried about you, Taz, on the getting stranded on the motorway on the way back. Felt a bit helpless. I would have liked to have been able to offer some actual help, but you know, geography and everything sucks. But yeah, we had a bit of a journey on the way home. Fuzzy Lee and I stopped at the Alconbury services for a Burger King. Oh God, I keep slipping off of these things. Actually, do you know what? The tip on this Hacko is kind of rounded, whereas the one that was on my Pine Seal was flat and sharp on the sides. And this one, being rounded, doesn't give you quite the same grip when you're pushing against something. It's just not quite the same. It's really good. There's there is a video to be made about the difference between the Hacko and the Pine Seal, because it's not straightforward. It's not like the Hacko is the best thing. In some ways the Pine Seal was a lot better. The thermal capacity is similar. What we're looking at here, another 1 microfarad. But the and the heat up time on the Pine Seal is markedly faster. But the comfort of the Hacko is just so much better, actually, in your hand. And the range of tips that I've got is better on the Hacko. It's they're cheaper to replace the tips. So I stick with the Hacko because I like it. I like the way it feels in my hand. But it's quite frustrating when I first turn it on, waiting for it to heat up. It's only like, 20 seconds or something, probably a little bit more than that. But it's, yeah, sometimes when you I just need to solder this one thing, and you have to wait that little tiny bit of time. Oh, how short life is. That one there, that one there. Hope you can see okay. I realise I'm slipping towards the front of the bench here. And that one. But I'm planning to do a few more live streams. I can't always give people notice, and I know that means there's only going to be a few people in here when I do them, but that's fine. I don't mind. I'd rather have a bit of company while I'm doing them. What we got here? I nearly threw that in the pile. Actually, let's put all those in there. .7. I think that's that one. Yep. And on that side. The only time I don't have the markings on the top is if I use some really cheap, nasty capacitors, so that the brand doesn't show. They're all just plain then. I've got a few around here with just like black capacitors in, and you can't see the markings on them, but they all work fine. They're probably as good as the capacitors that Sinclair put in back in the day. How are we doing? Oh, 1/2 I need to get a wiggle on. Right, let's go for that. That's going to be a 1 microfarad. And I think I can get on the end of the... Heat it first. Come on, bend. Oh, that one's bent over. Can't get that one. Can't even get underneath it with that. Did they not realise that one day someone's going to come along and want to take these out again? So rude. Okay, positive on the top. Bet that one's knackered. This is a kit from Retrolium, so these are all premium quality capacitors. Actually, this is a kit that belongs to Paul, Universal Retro Boss, so I hope he doesn't mind. So it's for charity, Paul, if you're watching. Called me Rylan the other day because he says I'm always on the telly. I'm embarrassed to know who Rylan is. The one thing I've got to post off, I've got to post off the C128 because I'm not going to repair it. Oh, your gran used to work on the Spectrum line. Fantastic. Right, those two are doable. Ah, then my finger was on the other side of that. Yeah, one thing I don't like about the Hakko, this Hakko, is the hole inside the nozzle is really, really small compared to the ZD915 soldering iron. That was just a tiny bit bigger, which made 22 microfarad, made getting it onto certain things a lot easier. This one is really tight. 22. 22, good. That way. First Spectrum I remember recapping. This is the first one that when I first started this hobby back in, I don't know, when was it? 2019? 2020 it would have been. I was building pinballs in 2019. The first one I recapped, I did every capacitor one at a time and tested, which is exactly what you should do, especially if you've never done it before. Tested between every single one of them. Where's that one? There and there, just to make sure. Don't think I've got that Spectrum anymore, but I bought that from Stu the Adventure Brummie on off of Twitter. Where am I? There. These are the hundreds. But yeah, that wasn't the first thing I recapped in my hobby. The first thing I recapped wasn't as simple as a Spectrum. It was an Amiga 1200. The first thing I attempted to recap was one of the most difficult things, but it worked. I'm going to go back to that one day because that's my best friend's Amiga 1200. He gave it to me for Christmas, and he handed it over, and I was just amazed. I was so lucky. Oh, I've done these wrong. Straighten that out and do that again. These have to be tight to the body, like that. Yeah, one day I'm going to go back and open that up and have a look and see how well I did, because I'm pretty sure I've learned a lot since then that would mean I probably didn't do it quite as well as I thought I might have. But it would be interesting to see how far I've come. I know my soldering's come so far because, like, the first soldering video that I ever put on YouTube, I actually delisted because I hated what I was doing so much, and people were watching. It was like it used to be my most viewed video, so I took it down because I was worried that people would watch it and, oh, that's not flowed. Watch it and think, oh, this is how you should do it, but it was definitely not how you should do it. And I was using terrible equipment, and that was to make an arcade encoder out of an Arduino Nano, something like that, or Uno, I can't remember. No, not an Uno, a Nano. Getting there. We have 25 minutes to go, and I've got 3 caps to go, so we are flying. There we go. I used to do this, and I'd go around and I'd note where, oh, that one needs to be reflowed. It's sticking up in the air. I'd note where all of the caps were on the backside and ring with a Sharpie, that sort of Sharpie, every single point that I needed to. So I, like, for instance, I'd go like this. Just put a ring so that because then once you find out where it is and you put it down, you turn away, you pick up your soldering iron, and it's like, oh, where's it gone? I've lost it. But I've got used to putting my finger in the right place now, just to keep track of things. One thing I'm going to do on this as well is this one has a transistor composite mod, and I'm going to change that back to the capacitor, and it comes with in the kit. It's got 100 nanofarad capacitor in there somewhere. Oh, it might not be in that one. I might have used that one. I might have to dig one out from somewhere. and change the capacity, the transistors TR1 and TR2 here for BC549s, just to brighten up the image a bit. Where are we? Oh, this thing is amazing. I wonder how it's going to do over here where that really heavy ground plane is. Oh, is this the wrong way? Was that in the wrong way round? No, surely not. That's marked positive at the bottom. Let me just check something. Bookmark. Sorry, bear with me, because I thought it was only the issue 2 that had a badly marked silk screen. I can actually show you what I'm doing now. Desktop. Layouts. That one I do. Layout. It's positive there. Is that right? Does anybody know? I finger my ZX caps. Yep. Get your mind out the gutter. I'm sure that was that way around. When I pulled it out just now, I'm going to go with the silk screen, because I'm pretty sure that the only cap on 48K Spectrums that's the wrong way round is the one over here on an issue 2. Where's the marking? There. Fairly sure. So I'm really doubting myself now, but I'm just going to stick it in and see what happens. If it goes wrong, I'll just put it in the repair pile and find another one. I've got so many Spectrums here. I should have used the one that Bobbus gave me. That would have been a nice thing, because he gave me a Spectrum. He gave me 3 Spectrums, but 2 of them were empty on Sunday. Bobbus 74. I could have, and you know, said that I'll try and do something for charity with it. But let's just basically say that's what this is. But this was just the first one I picked out of the pile. I'm just going to try that. I'm curious to see what happens. Where's the cable? Oh, I left you on the desktop. Sorry. Let's go back to that one. This is capture now. Ready? Oh, yes. Didn't like that. It's making a horrible noise. Really? Is that the wrong way around? I'm really surprised. Let's take that out. Unless I've shorted something else, and do a little bit of investigating. Exciting stuff happening on the stream. Right, so let's have a quick look at the skim. Go back to capture. Nope, capture. Desktop. Did I just show my... No. Schematics. Right, so that's C28. Oh God, where's that going to be? It's near the ULA somewhere. I'm terrible at finding things on the schematics. Just want to see what it's connected to. Could be over here next to this one. Where does it go? I would have expected it to be on this side where all of the logic is. C29, 73, 30. 25. It's not down. This is all the power part of it. I don't even know what C28 does. 67. It's not going to be over this side. Oh, 27. What were we looking for? I'm sure it was 28. Yeah, 28. If anyone spots it before I do. 22, 59, 63, 64. Can't be in here. Surely. 78, 43, 77, 74, 45, 79, 46, 44. No, that's just a different version of that. That's not there. Modulator, it could be over here. 25, 39, 42, 65, 38, 72, 37, 76, 33, 52, 53, 48. None of those. 31, 35, 32, 73, 75, 28. Right, so it's connected to ground on one side. So we have got a ground on one side. All right. What? It's right. So that's 5 volts, which is going to be that pin there. What happened? I must have shorted something then. I reckon I've dropped some solder somewhere. So what I'm going to do, because I'm running out of time now, is carry on recapping it, put it back how it was, fix those other caps, check the ones I've done, and then give this an inspection to make sure that I haven't shorted anything, because it was making a horrible, well, it just went, it made that horrible crackly noise when you shorted something. That's probably where I flicked some solder across the board when I slipped off one of the caps over this side. So it shouldn't be too hard to find. What did I do? Let's just check between oh, it's not on. That's all right. That's okay. That's ground. Yep. There's no shorts on the any of the power rails, so it's, I don't know what it is actually. What have I done? That's positive, that's positive, 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 positive on that side, positive on that side, positive on that side. They're all in the right way round. Oh no, they're not. Oh no. I've put one of the 100 nanofarad caps in the wrong way round. Whoops. All right, you can all start laughing now. Thank you, Henry. I should have looked at chat. Evening, Colin. How are you? Hello, Albert. I don't know what the United Launch Alliance is. No, I don't like the big ceramic caps. Actually, I'm in exactly the same boat as you. So, for those that just joined, I just made a stupid mistake and put one of the 12-volt caps in the wrong way around. Luckily, the bench power supply was on voltage limiting, so it shouldn't have done any damage. If anything, the TR4 will have blown. That would be the worst that's happened. Maybe I might have taken some memory out, but again, it's not a problem. I can always replace it. Got so many spares here, it's ridiculous. The only thing that was really trashed in this was my pride. How do I sound? Am I loud enough, by the way? Because I have been messing around with my microphone lately. Is it loud enough? The Hakko desoldering gun makes this ridiculously easy. All right, let's test that. I'm not going to plug it into the molly. Yeah, that's drawing the right thing, and it's not making that horrible hissing noise. I'll show you the output. Where is it? It still works. Phew! So lucky. Whoa, always check your work and don't do it in front of other people. Right. These are always, oh, I've got 10 minutes. These ones here are always the worst ones. Let's bring you right down. No, that's not right down, that's right down. It's that point there, which is all right. And that one there, which is okay. And then the one next to it, which is all right. But this one is in amongst all of this solder. And on these boards where they've got this crinkly solder, actually where they flow the solder over these big traces to give them a bit more beef, these are much harder. You get some boards that don't have this, it's just like flat traces. And they're a bit easier, but this one you have to basically heat all of that to 350 degrees, and it's a pig. It's not easy. So I've never done this with my Hakko before, but I'll be amazed if it can do it as well. But when it can't, or if it can't, oh, I've done it again. Flicked solder everywhere. Made a right mess of that. Yeah, if it can't do it, I you know, got. Oh, I'm still zoomed in. Sorry. If it can't do it, I've got methods. The way I do it, I'll explain if I have to. Oh God. Oh, I think that cap is just basically coming out. This one will be fun. This is where another thing that the pine seal does really good. Now I'm thinking, well, I need to put a little bit more heat in this. On the pine seal, I just click a button that's already under my thumb and hold it, and it boosts it up to 400 degrees. So good. But you can't do that on the Hakko. It's a bit old school, the Hakko, but still, I still stick with it. It's just a bit more convenient on the desk. Right, here we go. So this is the first easy one. That one just disappeared through. Don't know where that one went. This is number 3. And this is the hard one. I'm just going to let that settle for a sec. Because not only has it got to do the... oh no, it's not that one. I was thinking of a different one. It's done it. It's straight away. They're both just falling out. That's amazing. Right, so positives on the inside here. And we've got these 2 left. They should both be 22s. They are. Fabulous. There we go. Right, you got 5 minutes. Ask me anything. Everybody's under pressure. Anything. I might not answer. No, toast rack is not worth the hype. Fastest it's taken me to recap a 48k. Well, this was getting on for 40 minutes. I probably have done it in with the other method where I just chop the legs off is a lot quicker. And then I chop the legs off and I put all of the caps in and then just solder them. So it only takes like 10 minutes. This is much slower than I would normally do it. Although I might look like I'm flustered and and rushing, I'm not. I am flustered because that's what live streaming does to you. Make sure that the solder is not on your desk before you switch it on. Have you seen Howard's video on that Bluetooth soldering iron? No, I haven't. I will look at that. Would you mess with the caps in a CRT? If I had the right equipment. I haven't got anything to safely discharge a CRT, so I don't do them. I think, you know, as long as you do it with the right stuff and you do it safely, it's fine. Capture. There we go. We're still working. That interference is still there. That is definitely the capture device. It's just a Retro 2X thing. It's like a Retro Tink 2X knockoff. Colin, what temp do you use when you use the hot air station to remove the RAM chips? 330 degrees. I'll always stick with 330 degrees. It's my favourite temperature. I don't know why. Would you try and fix a printer or just bin it and buy a new one? Definitely the latter. They're disposable. They're not. Oh, I know what that is. Yeah, that's. Oh, it's getting upset with me. I'll just explain what that was. That was me pulling around on this, and something's not quite right there. But the RF modulator box on this one is a bit corroded and grotty, and I don't know if it might have been me that did this, but I don't think. I think the solder is interfering with the tang where the RCA jack goes into it, and it's not making good contact. It's just like pushing over to the side, and it's not really touching the inner bit. So this bit needs cleaning up, and the solder needs taking off of this bit in here, that bit in there, and I'll do that when I put the I'll put the capacitor mod in instead. And I'll get that looking perfect, but that's not right. And if not, I'll just take that whole modulator out and put a new one in. They've got loads of them. Would you try and fix the print? Oh yeah, I asked because I nearly burnt a hole through the board trying it myself. Yeah, the thing with a hot air station is to move the heat around. If you point it in one direction and it goes up to 350 degrees for more than a few seconds. Hot air is a bit different to like a hot iron touching the metal part of the board. If you're heating the actual substrate of the board to that temperature with hot air, it just doesn't discriminate. Most of the time when you're using an iron, you're touching metal, and that's got a chance to dissipate its heat through the, it transfers it more efficiently through metal. So the board is actually an insulator and doesn't transmit the heat as much. It gets hot, but not as much as the metal. But with hot air, all of it's getting hot, which is why I don't like hot air as a removal method for some things, for certain things. So if you try to just take chips out with I've done this, I've tried it myself, just with hot air, you've got a really high chance of damaging the actual chips themselves because they don't like being that hot. And I've done it where I've tried, when I first got my Atten hot air station, I started just for fun. I got scrap boards. I have these ones that I use, and not this one. Oh, I might have taken that out, but another one that. Oh, where's the other one? Oh, there it is. Yeah, this one. This was a mess. This one, and I just started popping chips out with the hot air station, and the board was fine. It actually did a really good job. But and these ones here, you can see here, it's actually left some of the chip on the board because it just broke away from the chip. So yeah, the hot air station's not ideal. It's only good for if you remove as much of the solder as you can from the backside, and then use it just to free up the legs. So very gently and heat the area first around, sort of a few inches around, and then focus in around the chip and just keep the heat moving. Try not to leave it in one place, but yeah, it'll go straight through them. Much better tool for SMD. And if you're going to get different tips for your hot air station, try to get angled ones. I need to get some for this, but I've got to find out where they come from. So I've got all of these tips in here, but they're all straight. And when you're under a microscope, you're always at an angle. You want to be pointing at the component a little bit more accurately. Plus, your hand is really high off of the workbench. With an angle tip, you can rest your hand on the workbench, and it's a lot easier to use. So I really need to get hold of some of those. But the hot air station is fantastic. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favourite tools. I just repaired my very first Nintendo Switch the other day. I also broke it a few days before, so the repair was because I broke it. But yeah, that was fun. Right, that's that done. I will do that bit in my own leisure. But yeah, I don't know if Mr. 1DB, who's buying this, is going to see this. He'll probably see it on catch up. But I'll finish this tomorrow, and I'll get it in the post probably the day after. Right, everybody, it's my time to go. I have to go and do family stuff now. But lovely to see you all. Thank you for keeping me company. I'll do this again a few more times if I can find things, little jobs that I need to do that I can do while I'm. It'll be, mundane stuff like cleaning some of the things that are going to be auctioned. But anyway, we'll do it again. Speak to you soon. Bye.